It is known that Shanks used Kamusari technique to beat Kid, which means that Shanks is the only one who can use Gol D Roger's powers. The battle between the Kid and red-haired pirates is one of the battles that fans have been waiting for, because Kid had previously arrived on Elbaf Island after choosing one of the paths. But it's very different from Trafalgar Law, who once fought against Blackbeard, because Kid seems completely helpless in front of Yonko Akagami. Based on what was presented in Chapter 1079, Shanks managed to defeat Kid using his Kamusari technique. At first, it was shown that Kid managed to destroy the Alliance ships belonging to the red-haired pirates, but that didn't really happen, because it only happened in the future through the eyes of the Shanks-kin Bunshaku Haki, which is indeed very extraordinary. Therefore, before the Pirate Kid made it even more difficult for Shanks, he finally intervened himself, and for the first time we were shown that Shanks used a very extraordinary sword technique, namely Kamusari. Kamusari itself is one of the most powerful sword techniques ever to appear in the One Piece story, and this technique was first shown by Gol D Roger when he fought against Kazuki Oden on an island. Proof of the awesomeness of Kamusari technique used by Roger is that he was able to send Kazuki Oden flying very far with one strike, even though logically we know that Oden was the strongest samurai in Wano 20 years ago, and he could be as strong as Kaido. This means that Kamusari's attack is really powerful, which makes it only natural that Kid was easily defeated by Shanks without even the slightest resistance. Seeing this fact, we come to the conclusion that it turns out that the one who taught Shanks his sword skills was not Rayleigh, but the captain himself, Gol D Roger. That means the current Shanks are the only people we know of as immortalizing all of Gol D Roger's abilities. Seeing how close the relationship between Roger and the Shanks was, there was a possibility that Roger had indeed inherited all of his techniques from the Shanks. As shown in the story, since the first time he joined Roger's crew, Shanks has been shown to have an emotional attachment to the captain. We can see this in several moments. For example, the most obvious one is when Shanks meets Luffy. When Luffy said the same thing as Roger, Shanks immediately remembered the captain. Then, in Kazuki Oden's journal entry, it was written that after Roger's return from Lavtel, Shanks appeared to be crying loudly while hugging the captain's body. The emotional closeness between Shanks and Roger can be the basis for the fact that Shanks is not just part of Roger's pirate crew. He is the only student of the Pirate King. It didn't even stop there. Not a few fans speculated that Shanks was also the only person who inherited Gol D Roger's sword. This has actually been around for a long time among fans. If Shanks' gripping sword is actually the same sword as Roger's, namely Eyes, this is seen from the similarity of the shapes of the two swords, but unfortunately, until now, there has been no confirmation regarding this. How then the Shanks were able to use Kamusari's technique in the fight against Kid and even managed to defeat him so easily is proof that the Shanks' reputation as a swordsman is not trivial. In fact, in the story, it is revealed that the Shanks are eternal rivals of Draco Mihawk, who is the strongest swordsman in the world. Word had it that whenever the two of them fought, the entire Grand Lane would be shaken. Whitebeard himself admitted that the fight between Shanks and Mihawk was legendary and amazing. This shows that Shanks is a very powerful swordsman, and not only someone with a sword, but her own haki ability is also beyond reason. So that's our discussion about One Piece Chapter 1079. If you have another opinion, please write it in the comments column.